So today we have my man Jonas in the chair. Here lately we've been doing a bald fade, but today we're gonna go ahead and do just a number one with the grain, and we're gonna do a high taper, clean up the beard. So I'm gonna start off using the JRLs with the number one going with the grain. My man Jonas used to play for the Tennessee Titans. Now he owns how many F45s?
6 now.
About 6 F45s. Trying to take over the world.
We do it at a time.
Just like the last video, I was using the detachable blade clippers. Those are my favorite clippers. A lot of people have been asking, can you do a taper with the skip blade system? The fact is you can. So I'm gonna go ahead and start out with the 5-0. We're gonna go ahead and create our first guideline. I like to go from the kind of the top corner of the ear all the way to the corner of the vertical bar. We're gonna fade this beard out, so I might as well drop it a little lower with the bald line. We can hit it with the shaver. You can watch how quick this thing is gonna go. And now I'm gonna go with the 0A blade, and I'll just go up probably about a half an inch, 3/4 of an inch. So it's definitely something that I just appreciate, that you don't have a lever on it. The blades cut smooth. I feel like they cut through bulk really nice, but also you got to learn more of the clipper. It's got to be more about how much pressure you're putting on the head, how to use the corners and things like that. So for me, it's just one of those things where I'm just like, it's enjoyable because it's more about the art of barbering than using all the levers. And we skipped the one blade and we're using the 1A blade. Once again, we're doing a high taper. Just gonna make sure we get this clean as possible. Skip the 1.5 blade and go to the number 2 blade. And I feel like the number 2 blade will go pretty good, into the one that we did at the very beginning, going in, with the grain. Right, so now we're gonna work our way back down using the blades that we skipped. I'm gonna use the 1.5 blade. And you can see where the levels are that we skipped. So those are the ones we're just gonna blend into. Number 1 blade. Sometimes what I tell people is we're not working on perfection right now. We're just working on just laying a good foundation. We can come back a little bit later and do some detail work. Starting out, I skipped the 3-0 blade, which I'm using now. And I'll just come in and I like to lay a good foundation, and then once I put a line up on it and all that stuff, then I'll come back and see what it really looks like and detail what I need to detail. But I just did one side, so usually though I wouldn't just do one side. Usually I'd go ahead and to make it quicker while I have the blades on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with my first guideline, go to the back. And then normally, so these right here aren't really zero gap. These kind of like pre-adjusted, and you just use them where they're at. So we're gonna go ahead and skip the 3-0 blade, the 000 blade, go to the 0A blade. Like I said, and whatever we did on that side, we would normally do on the back and the other side. So that way we can just knock it all out at the same time. And go to the 1A blade. And as you can see, whenever I'm doing this on the side of the taper, I'll go ahead and just kind of hit the beard too. All right, now we're gonna skip the 1.5. Go ahead and grab the number 2. And we'll just carry this number 2 kind of right into the 1 guard close going with the grain. The last customer came in, he was a new one. That joker boy, he smelled like so much weed. Dude, I got contact, man. I'm over here drifting. Obviously, some of you guys live in like California where weed is legal, recreational. Obviously here in Florida, medicinal is legal, not recreational. What's your thoughts about people coming in smelling like weed, especially whenever it's a family-friendly shop? Do you feel like you need to go ahead and address it? Do you ignore it? And then what are we gonna do? Reality, if someone came in smelling like cigarette smoke, we wouldn't be like, hey dog, you smell like cigarette smoke, you need to get out here, it's family-friendly shop. And when you're in a situation where it is legal, just like smoking cigarettes, how do y'all deal with that in those places? I know for us, we don't like it. Sometimes, usually we'll address it, say, hey, can you go put on some cologne or whatever. However, today I let it slide and I should have said something. All right, so there again, we went up to the 2, skipping the blades, and then this was the one coming back down, the 1.5 that we, pulled out to start blending. So now we're gonna go to the other one that we skipped, which is a number 1. You can see the little line there. So I just come in, with different angles. And know from the jump.
You got a code of conduct that our members know about, and it's in their membership agreement when they sign.
And I'll just start at the bottom and I'll go up into that using the corner. Sometimes when you throw that spritz on there, you can go ahead and have the hairs lay down, plus it just makes the lines look a little sharper. Trimmers with a DLC blade. I got these things hitting. These over there smacking. Some of the stars. Take care of my family just like anybody else, whenever he comes and sits in his chair, and he's been a faithful customer for years. I celebrate that. So I got the new Rebels, the new Rebel trimmers. I haven't got to adjust them yet or anything, but I was at the NorCal show. One of the guys from Stylecraft, Gamma, went ahead and was telling me how they fix these, and which I like the way they hit. Prior, they said they had a little bit of issues, so they, fix all the stuff, and supposedly they're doing real good now. There again, I haven't set them, but I'm interested to see what they hit like. So we'll test them straight out the box right now. How they feel to you? Good?
Feel fine, but you can probably set them how you have it normally. Yeah.
Now let's see the ones that I have modified and set and all that good stuff. Let's see, now these might actually, I gotta be real light-handed because they might, it's just tap and go, tap and go.
Hey man, 245 airbrush cleaner to me is one of the best, if not the best airbrush cleaner in the industry, because it's very simple. It's gonna clean it, it's gonna do a deep clean, it's gonna get rid of all the old clutter that may be in your gun. More importantly, it's gonna be protecting the metal. A lot of these airbrush cleaners are just destroying your gun from the inside out and you don't even know it. But with 245, it won't do that, all right? Very easy to apply, simple nozzle that you put right here, and literally have your thing spraying like brand new.
Some of the barbers were in the shop and these boys came in and something happened. Somebody got slick with one of the barbers or whatever, and dude had a couple friends with him. And I don't know, man, one of our barbers was about to let him have it. So every barber in the shop started throwing everything off and all right, we about to do this, because you ain't gonna come in the barber shop and start beef with our barbers and basically not get jumped. We love you. And we'll pray for you after we get done whooping you. But we stay together, man. So if you're in the barber shop, and these are your barber brothers, right? You work together every day. I know some of y'all might want to fight the other barbers. Our team, we love each other, we support each other, we try to build each other up. So, we're gonna have to do what we gotta do. So that's a question for you. I mean, what do you guys think? If someone was to come jump on one of your barbers, you just let them get beat down, or do you jump in and help, or do you just break it up? Like, what would y'all do? Nate, what you gonna do? You gonna slap somebody? That's right, we'll lay hands on you. One of the reasons people come to me is not just, I believe, a quality haircut, but also because we do color enhancement and hair fibers. And I feel like a lot of people that won't do that, they're robbing their customer. And sometimes the customer will go, to another barber that will do it, because we want to create a nice looking sharp line and fill in any light spots, man. So I start in the middle, just kind of work my way out to the lowest one. And even now, that's why I spray that spritz on there, because it helps me create a line even if I'm not hitting any hair. For all the ones that talk about my dirty card, I went ahead and got a new one. But that joker was dirty.
I got 2 fresh ones, man. I'm like, man, that was kind of nasty. Yeah.
So what I like to do is lay down the color first, and then I put hair fibers over that to kind of make it look more natural. So now I'm gonna go ahead and throw on some hair fibers. I like to go ahead and put the hairspray down first, and then we'll go ahead and throw the hair fibers on there. These are 245 hair fibers. And some people hit it just on the top. I want it to blend more, so I just try to go ahead and mix it with the longer natural hair also, so at least the front section will look like it blends into the top versus just caked up there. So once I put the fibers on, I'll just come in and hit that line again, make it nice and sharp, and I'll just drag it down and try to remove the excess hair before I spray it with hairspray again. Yeah, I seen Nate said something about you going. See, if you guys are watching, you see how he just dropped his head because he's falling asleep. That's why you got to make sure you have your hand, some kind of contact point on there instead of just the clippers. If I just would have had a trimmer on there, he would have just took it back. But when his head fell, my hand pulled back with it. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and throw that hairspray on again. So he asked me what my method was when it comes to the blow dryer, cool versus hot. And I used to do hot all the time because I felt like that hot air would dry it a lot more. But I found out the cool dries it just as good. So instead of causing my clients to sweat even more in this Florida heat, I'll just go ahead and use the cool. It kind of dries it, but also keeps them cool as well.
Oh, yeah, right? Yeah. I was like, damn. This is why I had to stop sitting next to you, dog.
Why is that?
I can't be letting my clients look at this and then look at what I do, bro.
Yeah, right.
Lacing this guy up.
That's why you got as good as you got sitting next to me.
And that's how to separate, degree of separation. You know what I mean? I got to have it over there.
This man, whenever he first sat next to me, how much were you making a head?
Probably like 25.
About $25, $30. I told him, I was like, dog, you don't want to sit next to me because I said, there's something on me, dog. It's the favor of God. You get next to me, it'll get on you, and then you'll start making more money than you ever made in your life. About 3 weeks later, he told me, he said, bro, I ain't even gonna lie. He said, as soon as I sat here, I ain't made less than $60 a haircut since I've been sitting here. Facts?
These are facts. These are facts.
That's that favor on my life, fellas. See, y'all think it's just about giving good haircuts. You gotta have a right relationship with the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Gotta bless you. Ain't that right?
Amen.
Ain't that right? Come on.
Amen. Preach.
Come on now.
That's right. The favor of God. Praise the Lord. That's why I was like, dude, I cannot do that. If anything, I figured that everything, like, he doesn't want to shape the beard. He wants to just have the clean lines, but kind of that wild look or whatever. Once I laid a good foundation, then I start detailing. So I still got to go over the top, smooth everything out. Because whenever I feel like that there's fibers that are maybe a little bit clumped up and not blended well, then I'll just come in and I'll use my comb to kind of brush some of those out. Start looking at anything that I feel like needs to be blended a little bit more. And I'll just come in and freehand everything. All right, big dog, what you think, man?
Good. Another fresh one.
Looking fresh.
Back.
That's right, that's right.
Game day tomorrow. Game day.
There you are, my brother.
Appreciate you, brother.
Take it easy, man. As always, good seeing you.